They were tall, blonde, rich, and arrogant. Etta's pin-up, the owner-trainer Rupert Campbell Black, whom she had hero-worshipped since his show-jumping days in the 70s, was therefore anathema. Samson resented his wife for being so lovable. For a start, Etta was so pretty, her complexion delicate as apple blossom, her soft curls the glowing light brown of woods before the leaves break through in springtime, and her eyes, the dark blue of clouds ushering in an April shower, were never far from tears or laughter. She also had a lovely curvy figure, which Samson had kept in check by weighing her once a week, slender ankles and the natural grace of a dancer. But it was not just Etta's prettiness. When Samson wasn't around, her natural high spirits and cheerfulness broke in. She had such a loving smile, indicating she was really pleased to see you, such an infectious laugh, such a gentle voice, interrupted by squeaks of excitement, such a sweet, confiding way of tucking her arm through yours and asking after your wife or your sick grandchild or how your exams had gone, as if she really minded. The words, "that bastard Bancroft," were never far from the lips of those familiar with the setup. It was common knowledge in Dorset that Samson not only bullied Etta insensible, but kept her very short. Why hadn't she left him? For the same reason that birds often don't escape when the cage door is left open. She had lost the ability to fly. Then she couldn't leave, because disaster struck. Except for the rare sporting injury, Samson had never been ill. His superhuman energy had enabled him to work all day and make love all night. Then, during a long winter in the early 2000s, his secretary noticed Samson nodding off in the afternoon, and even during crucial meetings. In May, the firm's annual cricket match took place, traditionally held on Samson's birthday, to provide yet another showcase for his prowess. Even into his 70s he had taken wickets and knocked up the odd 40 runs. This year, he was bowled first ball and dropped 2 easy catches. At the dinner afterwards, Samson, who never forgot a face, blanked half the distinguished guests, and his normally rabble-rousing speech to the faithful was slurred and rambling. Leaving the hotel, he had tripped and hit his head on a pillar and ended up in hospital. Here, blood tests revealed Howards, a dreaded degenerative heart disease. An outraged Samson turned to the internet, finding a prognosis not only of blindness and the collapse of organs and muscles, but also of searing pain and probable dementia. He rolled up at a board meeting next day and once again collapsed. As his resignation became official, shares in Bancroft Engineering went into temporary freefall. Back at Bluebell Hill, where he was confined to bed or a wheelchair, Samson could no longer terrorise Etta by appearing massive-shouldered and 6'3" in doorways, his eyes as cold as a lake at twilight. Instead, he bellowed from all over the house, but except for the occasional very pretty carer allowed in to read or sit with him, he refused to let anyone but Etta look after him. "I can understand that," cooed an admiring district nurse. "Mr. Bancroft is too proud a man to let a strange woman see him naked." That had never been Samson's problem, thought Etta wryly, remembering the serial mistresses he had kept throughout his marriage. But ever kind-hearted, aware that Samson could no longer walk, was in dreadful pain, felt mocked by the books in his library that he could no longer read, and was finding even children's crosswords increasingly difficult as his mind and his grasp on reality slid away. Etta felt desperately sorry for him. Nor did their 2 children provide much solace. More than 40 years ago, Etta had nearly died giving birth to 2 hulking twins, Martin and Carrie, neither of whom she had managed to breastfeed. They seemed to have inherited Samson's contempt for their mother. Whenever she had tried to cuddle them, they had gone rigid and wriggled out of her arms. Not that they got on any better with each other, perhaps because when they were children, Samson, with stopwatch poised, had set them constantly at odds. Not just on tennis court or sports track, or in icy swimming pool, but in endless history, geography, and general knowledge tests. As a result, both twins were indelibly competitive. Dark, handsome,